Okay, today we are playing a game on Ilios. We are playing mostly Roadhog with some Reinhardt towards the end, and the average SR of this game was 1,945. In the accompanying email, we have, at the risk of being called a booster, I was playing with someone significantly lower ranked with me in competitive, and so I was one of the higher ranked players on the team. Could you talk a little bit about putting the carry pants on, and what one should do differently when one is playing at a significantly lower team/game SR than usual? Well, we'll talk about that right now. So, generally what I would say is try and pick Pharah, if possible. Pharah is very good in lower SRs for a bunch of reasons. Enemy team probably doesn't actually have the mechanical skill yet to actually, kill you consistently, especially if you're playing well and you have a support to help you as well. That'll obviously help. Lower SR teams are generally more prone to picking lower tier heroes like Junkrat, Mei, Torbjorn. All of these people are extremely countered by Pharah. They're more prone to having unconventional team compositions, like they're more likely to only have one healer or one tank. Both of these things make it easier for Pharah, because if there's only one healer, you kill the healer and then you win the game. If there's only one tank, there's less things getting in your way, because generally Pharah is worse dealing with tanks compared to every other type of hero. And the tank is also more likely to be something like Roadhog or Orisa, which is not really an issue for Pharah. And also, because the enemy team is more prone to picking these lower tier heroes, what's usually going to happen is the enemy team will be like, we have to get a Pharah counter, so somebody's going to have to change to Soldier, McCree, Widowmaker, whatever. They probably don't know how to play that hero if they didn't just pick that hero straight up, so you'll still have an easy time even if they're changing to counters, because they probably don't actually know how to play that hero. So try and pick Pharah, if possible. The biggest thing is don't rely on people doing things as you would expect them to do. Your team or the enemy team, they're not going to do things that they should be doing. Like, if you watch this game, the enemy team's McCree performs a lot of illegal and very aggressive maneuvers, but he just doesn't get punished for them. People are going to flank you at weird times, weird people are going to flank you. You have to just react to things a lot more. You can't really rely on, back knowledge of what people are gonna do, because they're less likely to actually do what they're supposed to be doing. Don't worry about your team comp, basically, ever. Obviously you still want to have a tank and a healer, but, don't worry about having, 2-2-2 or something like that. Try to pick DPS heroes. If you see that somebody on your team has picked a tank, and you're confident enough playing a DPS hero, just play a DPS hero. Don't worry about, picking the second tank or the second healer, because team comp matters significantly less in lower SRs. I mean, it doesn't really matter until you get to, very high SRs anyway, but obviously the lower you go, the less and less it matters. Because people probably don't know how to play their heroes anyway, so team composition generally doesn't matter. So, don't worry about, picking the second tank or the second healer. If you can play a DPS, just play a DPS. You'll probably have a better time doing that. Try to pick certain types of DPS, because certain ones are better at carrying than others. Pharah, I think, is very good. If you're really good at, Genji, Tracer, Widowmaker, Hanzo, these are all very good carry heroes, but the caveat is you have to be good at them. McCree as well is very good. He's better in lower SRs because he can kill people faster than Soldier. So, if people are not positioning properly, McCree is better because he'll kill them faster than Soldier, provided you're good at McCree, obviously. Other than that, you just kind of, play as you normally would, really. When I'm in lower SRs, what I try and do is just pick Soldier, stand on the high ground, and then shoot people and kill them. And that works a lot of the time, because generally I'll be a better shot than them, generally speaking. They probably don't know that they have to get control of the high ground, because most people undervalue that anyway, so most people are not going to try that hard to get you off. If they do know that they should get you off, they probably don't know how to do that properly. They don't actually know how to contest high ground yet. So I just kind of play Soldier, stand on the high ground, and shoot people. And they don't really ever try, but if they do try, like, I'm still probably better than the person that tries to kill me, so it doesn't work out. Like, the Pharah jumps up right in front of my face, and I just shoot the Pharah, you know? The Genji comes up to me, and he, like, deflects right in front of my face. I just look him in the eye, and then shoot him after the deflect ends, you know, that kind of thing. Just kind of, like, play as you normally would. The thing is with Overwatch as compared to other games is it's hard to solo carry a game in Overwatch unless you're really good at specific heroes, like the flankers, the snipers, McCree. If you're really good at them, it's really easy to solo carry because you'll just kill, like, a lot of them and they won't be able to stop you. But Overwatch is a very team-based game, so it's very hard to, like, solo carry a game, because it's so team-based. Like, 1v6, you just can't do anything, right? You just die. Like, it's just how it is. So it's very hard to actually do that. Basically, I would just say to, like, try and pick certain heroes, and don't rely on, like, built-up knowledge. People are just gonna do random stuff. And other than that, just, like, play as you normally would. Like, you usually play more aggressively than you normally would, because people are less likely to punish you for it. But for the most part, if you just play as you normally would, like, the reason that you play as that normally is because it's the best thing you can do, generally speaking, right? In theory, anyway. So, just kind of keep doing that. Just try to, like, pick certain things, basically, is, like, the biggest advice I could give you. So, anyway, though, hopefully that answers your question. If you want further elaboration, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to. So, the game we're in right now, though, so let's look at our team. We've got Roadhog, Orisa, Mercy, Tracer, Lucio, and Mei. So, a weird team, you know. Orisa's fine on Ilios. This is well as well, which he's really good on. Well. Mei, not like, you know, she's fine at King of the Hill. She's not like the greatest. We got Tracer. She probably doesn't really know how to play Tracer that well. And then we've got Lucio, who is pretty important for King of the Hill. And we've got Mercy, which is, you know, neither here nor there, really. Pretty unremarkable overall. So, let's start the game. So we're on well right now. We're playing Roadhog. We play Reinhardt later. I think I said that. Yeah, probably did. So we're coming around the left-hand side over here. Mei's over there walling people off. We missed the hook on D.Va, which is unfortunate. And now we're just going to sit over here, poking back and forth. Take a breather right now. Might as well. So Tracer just died over there to their McCree. And McCree has also now just killed Lucio. So we're now down 2 people. So things are not exactly going well right now. And now they're starting to collapse on us as well. So we're trying to come back over here, but they're just going to run us down and kill us. As soon as I saw the 2 people die in the kill feed, I was basically like, yeah, this is not going to work out. And then they just collapse on us and kill us before we can get away. I mean, basically when you see like 2 people die in your kill feed, what's going on with the video here? What's going on? Just like stopped playing, huh? Generally, okay, there we go. Generally, when you see, like, 2 people die in your kill feed, McCree's using High Noon already, by the way. We just heard it. Generally, when you see 2 people die, you want to just try and get out, but, like, look, he even killed 2 people with it. That's 2 more people than on average. So yeah. Usually you just want to try and get out, but we weren't really gonna get out from that position, in all likelihood. Feels bad, man. It's unfortunate that we missed the hooks, obviously. I think only thing we could have really done better is land the hooks, but, like, obviously, right? You know, fucking hell. Shocking. So we've called that we're trying to reset with our team. We're waiting for everybody to gather up. We've hooked the McCree over. Unfortunately, Zarya saves him at the split second we shot him. Don't even see the bubble. You see the bubble popping before you see the bubble. So, feels bad, man. And then Reaper popped out behind us and he killed us. Feels bad, man. Like, the thing is now we do know that they have a Reaper, so now we have to be, like, wary of him flanking around the backside like that, because if he's done it once, he's probably gonna do it again. Like, this McCree is killing fucking everyone right now, as we can see. Winston's actually pretty good in lower SRs as well, because people are very bad at collapsing on the Winston when he jumps on the back line in lower SRs, because that's how you deal with Winston. You kind of just collapse on him and kill him. That's not going to happen in lower SR, so Winston is pretty good as well. D.Va as well, but D.Va's harder to play than Winston. Winston is a very consistent hero. We see right now that Winston is, McCree is, like, dominating our team. So I would be thinking maybe I should change to Winston to, like, sit on the McCree and make his life difficult. Because so far, we're, like, halfway into the first round, and I think he's killed 9 out of 10 people. Like, I think only 1 or 2 people have not been killed by McCree. So he's, like, doing work right now. So I'd be thinking about changing to Winston. But anyway, we know that they have a Reaper now. We saw him flank us once right there. Like, we were dealing with McCree at the time, and then he, like, just got away from us, and then we died at, like, the same time. Feels bad, man. But now that we know he has him, we know that Reaper's gonna do that kind of thing, we have to be more actively looking for him. Like, we're standing right next to that room, look in that room to see if Reaper is there again. Because if he did it once, he's probably gonna do it again. This is all, when you're in lower SRs as well, you're gonna have to, like, look for flankers more often, because more people are gonna try and do that more often, and they're gonna try and do it on people that are not flankers. Like, you can look at a team and see, like, Junkrat May, and, like, Junkrat and May are gonna try and flank you. Like, you have to be watching for that kind of thing as well. So we've got, like, look in that room. Like, we just back up into that room. We got killed by Reaper from that room once. Like, we could just be backing up into Reaper right now. We haven't looked over there. We didn't, obviously, but, like, we've got to keep, like, careful tabs on it now. There's Reaper right now. Looks like he was hanging out on the roof above instead, seeing as, we backed up into the room and didn't see him, and now he's suddenly here. So we lost Mercy, but that's kind of all we lost, so it's not the end of the world. We decided we're going to use Whole Hog right now. It seems like a bit of a panic reaction, which is like, I didn't kill Reaper, so I'm just going to ult him. It's not usually good to panic ult, and we're not really in a good position to, like, take advantage of this Whole Hog, and Reaper just Wraith forms away from us, so we end up not really getting very much accomplished with it. And things are not going well right now. Now we're getting, in the Graviton. May's walled the enemy team off, so that's good. Lucio's actually managed to boop their Zarya off, which is also good. However, Reaper is still alive, and he is, in fact, still trying to kill us. So, you know, lots of ultimates happened right now. The thing is, you can tell Reaper hits you from, like, the way the hit markers are when they hit you. It's like you got hit from behind by a bunch of little things, so that's probably Reaper closing the gap on you. If you start taking a breather in front of Reaper, you probably die. So it's kind of like, well, from that HP anyway. Sometimes you don't die, but from that HP, you're definitely gonna die. Like, the only way you try and get out of that one at that point is to spin around and try to just hook and kill the Reaper. Cause sometimes you get to just turn around and one-shot the Reaper and he doesn't kill you, but that's kinda it. Like, taking a breather right there is gonna get you killed. Basically wouldn't have used Whole Hog right there. Would have tried to just, like, kill the Reaper. If that doesn't work, try and, like, back out. Cause we kinda just, like, use the Whole Hog and it's not great cause it's like a panic reaction. And then we end up being in a worse position because we tried to make the best out of it, and then it's just like this cascading effect where it just kept getting worse and worse. So we've killed the McCree right there. We are currently being killed by Reaper, and there we go. We turn around and we shoot the Reaper right in the face, and it's real satisfying. Let's watch that one again in slow motion. That's also why you don't stand perfectly still while you're shooting someone, even if you're right in the Roadhog's face trying to kill him. Because then the Roadhog just turns around and one-shots you. So things have been going decently well. However, now the people we killed are alive again. So things are now not going that well anymore. I mean, they weren't going well, but now they're going even worse, you know. So that didn't go very well. As you can tell from the timer on the video, we aren't going to be here very long. It doesn't exactly go super well. So our team has changed a little bit now. Now we have Genji Soldier, and Winston as our other tank instead. So this is better overall versus their team. Like, this is a very standard team composition at this point, right? It's a wholly unremarkable looking team. Fine to keep playing Roadhog. You could consider changing to Zarya because you now have a Winston. Zarya works very well with Winston and is still, like, decent against Reaper. But Roadhog is, like, consistently very good against everybody. At time of speaking, we'll see after he gets balanced. Oh, just changed to Orisa. Never mind. Disregard that entire thing. So, we're now on Lighthouse. Yes, I don't know why I was having so much trouble with that one. So our team is kind of split up, but now we've reconvened again. So we just saw Reaper walk over there, get flashbanged, and promptly murdered by the enemy team. So that feels bad, man. We also someone changed to Reaper very suddenly as well. I didn't notice that happen either. Oh, God, professionalism. So, Reaper's disappeared off over in that way. That's super aggressive. I would not recommend that one. Like, we just kind of like chase after him. We're not full HP to begin with. We get shot as we're going in. And like, we walk right into this team. Like, we're walking into the Reaper, not full HP, right next to his team. And we know they have a McCree as well. That could get you killed pretty quickly. And like, the team they had, like, they even have a Zarya. Like, it's hard to do that kind of thing. That's super aggressive. Would not recommend that one. Just like, play it cool and like, wait for your hook cooldown, basically. So over there we see McCree didn't mean to do that. We see McCree not, performing a not very legal maneuver. If you were watching during the first round, you'll have noticed him walk forward, and a lot of times he shouldn't really have been walking forward. McCree keeps doing that. Here he does it again, and he actually gets punished by our soldier, so that's great. So now, things happening over there. Points unlocked. We're trying to get over to the point. I don't really like that we come this way around to it, because they have Lucio, basically. So the fear is like getting booped off this edge as we come by. That's not what happens, though. Actually, I think we see someone get booped off, like, right before our eyes. It's not really working out, though. Reaper hadn't actually gotten back yet, and we've just lost Soldier, so now things are not going super well. There goes Reaper again. So we've lost both our DPS right now. Feels good, man. Let's watch that one again. In slow motion. Nope, that's not slow enough. We gotta go slower than that. Oh, we missed. Oh, no. Oh, he's fucking dead, though. Pile of molten slag right in the fucking face. There goes Lucio. So there's the guy getting booped off. This is why this area is very scary to come out of. So watch now as the Mercy performs a not legal maneuver. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna get him! Valhalla! Oh, fuck, I died! That's weird. Oh, you know. So our whole team's dead right now. We can't do anything. We've just gotta wait for our team to regroup. Standing this far up is, not recommended for what exact fucking McCree. I got him! Now I'm gonna high noon this soldier in the hallway. Fuck, he killed me because he just shot me in the face. Who'd have guessed that'd happen? Oh, man. So, like, just, like, standing that far up's not good because of exactly what happened. We should just, like, go further back because we're waiting for the whole team, basically. That's a very greedy maneuver. We died. Our death was pretty staggered. Enemy teams, our team's, like, completely regrouped over there. We're just respawning now. So this is not great. We hear Graviton happening in the distance right now, which is not exactly a good sign. However, no one died. So everything's gone better than expected right there. Lucio's just managed to boop Reaper off, so we actually have the numbers advantage right now for once. Lucio failed to boop us off. This is a scary way to go. Don't go through this doorway with the information that we currently have. Cause Lucio just tried to boop us off. Lucio just went in that doorway right there, onto the point. We're now gonna walk right next to the edge while we know that Lucio is inside this door. He doesn't boop us off, but he comes really close. Don't go that way when Lucio's doing that, cause you're probably, like, he's gonna try and boop you off. And then it's kinda like luck of the draw. So we see that our soldier has died to McCree, but we killed their Reaper, so that's fine. Like, we're equal right now. We start taking a breather. When we don't need to, because we're already being healed by people anyway. Like, the beat happens, but that happens at, like, the same time we push the button, which you can't really account for unless you're clairvoyant. So, we don't need to take a breather anyway, though, because we're already, like, getting healed. We're not really being pressured yet, so we don't really need to use this yet. So it ends up being a bit awkward when the beat does get dropped. Now we're just gonna use Whole Hog, which is fair enough. This is the time to use it. We try and bully the Mercy to death. We don't quite bully the Mercy to death, but we do push Lucio off the edge. We also see that Orisa has just killed McCree. Fuck, the other one. The one that doesn't like Reaper. So, that's great. That's fantastic. That means we've got the numbers advantage. Their Reaper they have a Reaper, right? Yeah, their Reaper is going to be getting back soon. He's in fact back now because he was shooting us in the back. We've managed to kill their Zarya. Here comes Reaper. Reaper's killed our whole team. That's going to kill us because we don't quite get out of the way. Even though it looked like we were out of the way. Roadhog's kind of a hefty guy, you know? There's like a roll of fat poking through the doorway, and that was where he retains all of his life force. It was his phylactery. So yeah, Reaper, as I was saying, Reaper's gonna get back soon. Reaper got back just in time to ult and kill the entire team. We killed Zarya at the time, and she was like 100% energy, so she's like priority number 1. So, like, we did what we should have been doing. It's just unfortunate that the thing we should have been doing also led to Reaper coming in on the backside and killing us, because we just used our cooldowns to kill Zarya, who was also a very high priority target. So then Reaper comes in right afterwards and ults. Feels bad, man. Like, you can't really do anything about that one except be psychic and see it coming. You know, we did what we were supposed to be doing at the time. So we've gotten back now to try and just touch the point. Soldiers using TAC Visor. We've managed to kill a bunch of people, and now they're alive again. So, you know, feels bad, man. And now things are not exactly going well. We're out here. We've got time to take a breather. Shot him right in the kneecap, and he just fell over dead. Built up whole hog, going back in. Our Mercy's rezzed him. Reaper's doing it again. I don't really know what to tell you. Like, he built that up again really fast, actually. Like, it's surprising he actually had it again that quickly. It's possible to make no mistakes and still lose, is the moral of the story. Like, I don't see how you pull that one off unless you're just psychic, basically. Because we were doing, like, what we should have been doing. It's just that wasn't enough, basically. Like, everything in theory, what we were doing was fine. We killed the Zarya, who was full charge, high priority. It's just that led to Reaper, us not having our cooldowns to kill Reaper when he did it. We're fighting just to touch the point, get pushed out the back, take a breather. While we're out there, and when that happens, like, they die before we get back to the point, right? Like, it's just, it's possible to make no mistakes and still lose. Like, I don't see how you pull that one off unless you are, like, clairvoyant, really. And know that, like, Reaper's gonna come in and, like, just kill your entire team with one ultimate. Feels bad, man. So, now we're playing Reinhardt on Ruins. This is the last round we play. Spoiler warning. This is a good map for Reinhardt. It's pretty one-directional, which Reinhardt generally likes. I mean, Reinhardt's never bad, but you know what I mean. So we're on the point now, trying to get some momentum in. We've just seen a bunch of people swing past the right-hand side right there. We see Boostio and Reaper swing by that side. Right now, you should go backwards and try to help your team with that situation, because as we've seen, our team is bad at dealing with Reaper, and Reaper's just gone back there to kill him. I mean, like, Reaper's not really your area as Reinhardt, strictly speaking, but also, when you're in lower SR, you have to deal with more things that are not your area, because the people who are supposed to be dealing with that area can't, basically. So we should go back and deal with that, and maybe, like, Zarya dies, because we, like, kind of leave her out in the lurch, but that's better than, like, the risk of Reaper and Boostio killing our entire backline, you know? So we come back around here now. They didn't get anything done. They retreat back outwards. Zarya did in fact die, because she didn't get the memo and just stayed on the point and died. So now we're at a numbers disadvantage, and it's one of our tanks, which is a pretty bad member of the team to lose. It's not really working out. Like, I'd just be backpedaling at this point, because, like, this is not gonna work. Like, this is the kind of thing as Reinhardt where you, like, try. You're like, I should be doing this. Like, I should be trying to contest the point. It's not gonna work. Like, look at all this in front of you. You're looking at the entire enemy team. One of your team's dead. Like, they're not hurt. Like, all of them are perfectly healthy human beings right now. This is not gonna work. You start trying to back up, basically. Because, like, there's nothing to be gained here, barring divine intervention. if the chance of you gaining something is really, really low, just don't bother at all. Like, just back out instead. Because this probably doesn't work. It doesn't work, as we can see. All that happens is we try, we die, and we give them more ult charge, so now it's gonna be harder for us to push in the next time. Just, like, try and back up. Especially like Reinhardt, you gotta, like, feel out the pressure. Like, your team versus, like, who's applying more pressure. Their team's applying way more pressure in that situation. There's no way you overcome it. You gotta just try and, like, stop. Because if you go in anyway, you probably die. And then things just get worse at that point. So we're back around here now. Lucio just died as we arrived, which is obviously not good news, but it's not the end of the world to lose your Lucio. Lower impact in, like, this kind of situation compared to, like, Mercy, who is a main healer. And he'll get back quicker than most heroes as well. Our soldier just killed their Mercy. We hear High Noon happening. We don't know where it is, but we just saw Zarya turn around, so we divine it's probably over there. It was over there. He's dead now. That's not a legal maneuver. That's an example of someone trying to flank, but they're not a flanker. So you gotta be ready for that. McCree, that's like really, like, don't do that though. That's like the worst flank you could try and pull off, honestly. So now we've got the numbers advantage, even though Lucio isn't here right now, so we just want to go in, basically. We end up, like, that's unfortunate timing. I would have gone in sooner. Like, as soon as I see McCree die, I basically just, like, turn and start going in. But, like, so we go in eventually. It takes us a little longer to reach the decision to go in. We go in, and it just so happens that the time we go in is when Reaper does that, and it kind of fucks us over at that time. Mercy also then res, but didn't actually get us as well, so that feels bad, man, obviously. This is also, like, a thing in general, just trying to make decisions fast. Like, fast decisions. Like, I would have avoided that Reaper, not because I knew the Reaper was coming, but just because I would have committed to that fight sooner and, like, missed it, basically. And then, like, yeah, maybe your team dies as you're going in, but, like, what happened wasn't really much better. Just, like, snap decision, gotta make decisions quick, basically. That's like the thing I find the most different watching, like, lower games compared to higher SR games, is, like, higher SR people, it's like roughly the same, like, mechanically and everything like that. It's just people commit to things faster. The game's a lot faster paced because people decide what they're gonna do quicker and then they just do it. Lower SRP, they kind of like, oh, should I do this? I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do in this situation. Fuck, half the time I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just decide I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna see if it works, you know? Just make the decision quicker. Is something that will generally serve you well, because acting fast is very important, and this is a very fast-paced game. You've gotta be fast. We're back over here now. We've just lost our Mercy. This is bad, obviously. Our Zarya is doing the exact same thing over there. I know why you take the shield down to do that. But believe me, I understand, and I would want to do the exact same thing, cause I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh, that's 5 people I could smack right now. But you can't do it. You can't take the shield down in that situation because this happens. You're looking at the whole team. Yeah, you're gonna hit them, but they're gonna hit you. So that's very scary. It ends up that, like, most of them still die anyway, but, like, just don't take your shield down in that situation. I know you want to. Believe me, I understand. And, like, there's a good possibility I would have done the exact same thing. I might have even done something worse. I might have tried to fire strike through them. But I also know that that's not the correct decision, because the whole team is right there. You gotta just, like, block it, because you're gonna get killed as soon as you take the shield down, which is what happens. Self-control is a very big part of playing Reinhardt, which is why I shouldn't really play Reinhardt, but that's where we're at. Okay, so we've got Earth Shatter built up right now. We don't have very much time left, but 2 of our team just died, so we don't actually want to go in right now. Our soldier is complaining about how no one wants to go in and touch the point. We're like, we gotta reset. He's like, we gotta go right now. I feel like we're a bit pressured into it. We can wait. they're almost there, but they've still got to get 7%. We can wait a little bit longer. Because the idea, like, we know that realistically this is probably not going to work regardless. Like, this is a bad situation and we're going to have to go in and touch the point. But you want to do it as late as possible to try and get as much time. If you wait, like, the extra if you wait the extra 6% and then get in on the point, you get as much time as possible. That's like giving the team the most time possible to try and get back in time. And, like, they'll get there sooner relative to you getting in. And like, just like going in this early won't actually gain you anything really, because you're just gonna die and then they're gonna get back right as you're dead. And it's gonna be not great times. Like, you can wait a little bit longer to go in. And we know it's not gonna work at the end of the day, but if we wait till we want to try and get as much chance as possible. But we know it's not going to work. Like, we know that you're going to go in and you're going to die. Like, this is just what happens in that kind of situation. I know in, like, the email you wanted, like, you were probably looking for, like, a way that you could have, like, carried through this game. I don't think you could, really. Like, the way it goes, I don't see it happening unless you play, like, an absolute god. Like, this happens, and, like, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing while this is happening. It's just that isn't enough because that happens. I don't see a way that it works unless you're like, play like an absolute god or you're psychic and see these things coming. Like, you would have to know, to win that round, you would have to know that you don't focus the Zarya who has 100% charge. Which is not what you do. Like, you hook and kill the Zarya because she's at 100% charge. It's not gonna happen, really. And, like, first round, like, McCree went off and killed, like, everybody on your team, like, 3 times. Like, you can try and focus the McCree more, yeah, but if your whole team is dead the entire time, it's hard to do that. Like, you just can't really win, like, 1v6, you know? I don't see it happening in this game. I don't, like, yeah, obviously, like, there were things that could have been better. And, like, mechanical things we don't really talk about that because I can't tell you how to aim. Like, yeah, it could have been better, but I don't see a way you win this game, really. Like, it is possible to make no mistakes and still lose. Which is an important thing to remember when playing, like, a competitive game in general. It's just sometimes it's not going to be enough. I do, like, it doesn't really bother me, this kind of thing. Like, a game like this, I'm like, that sucks, but I don't really let it get me down, because it happens, right? I follow the mentality that, like, you're gonna win 40% of your games through no fault of your own. You're gonna lose 40% of your games through no fault of your own. And, like, the last 20% are the ones that you actually, like, you personally can affect the outcome of. This I think is just when you lose, regardless of your input, basically. I think too many things are going wrong for you to personally fix it. And there isn't really, like, a super huge thing that stands out to me in this game. We position, like, positioning kind of greedy in a few cases, like on, Lighthouse when we're standing really far up in the hallway and we get punished and we get killed for it. Earlier when we, like, walk into the corner to try and kill the Reaper, that's pretty greedy. That'll get you punished. Like, that's, like, the biggest recurring thing that's slid out in this game. This is one of those games that's, even though it's a loss, it's kind of hard to, like, pull useful information out of, because it's just, like, so many things are going wrong in this game. But that's that. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. And I hope you found the video helpful.